Coming up on today's newscast, the latest on SAE fraternity's racist video and how Loyola's Greek life has reacted. See how Obama is helping grads pay off their student loans, and we have all your Loyola sports news. You don't want to miss this.
From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Hello and welcome to Loyola News Chicago. I'm Jessica Edwards.
And I'm Hope Salmon. Here's the news. A big college story has become a national story this week because of controversial video. Two members of Oklahoma chapter SAE, or Sigma Alpha Epsilon, are showing leading in a racist chant. This was a video that was shown taken on a student's phone. We are choosing not to air the audio because of its offensive nature. Some of the Oklahoma students issued an apology for the fraternity's racist video and called it a horrible mistake and devastating lesson. There are 219 national chapters of SAE, and Loyola is home to one of those chapters. Maria Schaukowski explains our chapter's reactions to the racist video and tells us how Loyola's Greek life differs from most universities.
Thanks, Hope. The events surrounding the SAE chapter at University of Oklahoma are truly saddening, and our own chapter at Loyola had a few things to say about the event. They released a statement expressing their embarrassment and apologizing on behalf of the organization. Here's what Loyola's Alpha Omega chapter of SAE had to say about the incident. The incident highlights the ignorance of an isolated group of men, and it in no way reflects the values of our organization. We pride ourselves on our creed, true gentlemen, which binds us to any virtues not expressed by the men at Oklahoma. It teaches us not to discriminate against any race, ethnicity, or orientation. It teaches us to value honor and integrity. It teaches us to be humble and commit ourselves to the improvement of society. All members of SAE were asked not to comment, but instead released the statement on behalf of their chapter. Aside from SAE, all Greek life chapters at Loyola were also asked not to comment. Greek life at Loyola differs from most universities. Mostly, we don't have houses on campus. Up until recently, it was considered to be a brothel within the city of Chicago to have so many girls living under one roof. Greek life is also a lot smaller at Loyola, with only 11.5% of the undergraduate population being involved in Greek life. At Loyola, we have 6 sororities in the National Panhellenic Council and 5 fraternities in the Interfraternity Council, compared to DePaul's 8 sororities and 7 fraternities, Northwestern's 17 fraternities and 12 sororities, and University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign's 12 sororities and 47 fraternities. Although small, Greek life at Loyola continues to grow, and every year student involvement increases. Maria Schaukowski, Loyola News Chicago.
Greek life has been on Loyola's campus since 1924 and has more than 1,000 members between its sororities and fraternities.
Loyola has a notable Jewish population, but not many students understand what Judaism is about. That's why Hillel at Loyola is hosting their first ever Jewish Awareness Week.
What we want is people to see the different components within Judaism. Judaism isn't just a religion. It's more like ethnicity. It's who you are. It's historical. It's social. It's communal. It's important.
Hillel hosted a rabbi panel to kick off Jewish Awareness Week. 3 rabbis spoke about their specific Judaic movements and how they led to their respective congregations. Many are excited for Jewish Awareness Week and see its value to the Loyola community.
Well, I think it's really awesome because we have a pretty small community on campus as far as Jewish students and Hillel, but we have so much to offer to the rest of the student body, so it's a great way for us to just kind of promote fun activities and learning opportunities about a really interesting culture.
I'm particularly delighted that it's so student organized and student run. I think it speaks to the empowered student body, so the empowered Jewish community that we have here at Loyola.
Jewish Awareness Week ends on Friday with Shabbat in Lakeview. Next week, Loyola's Muslim Student Association is hosting Islam Appreciation Week. Viva la Vegan, Loyola's newest initiative, is serving up more greens than ever. Campus dining halls have been featuring healthier food options for students. The newest choices to the lineup include more vegan-friendly dishes or meals without animal byproducts. Loyola's ongoing mission is to provide students with the foods and resources to live a healthier lifestyle. Ingredient info is available to students, and each dining hall has its own nutritionist. Students think Loyola is doing enough to make sure specialty options are being served.
Yeah, I think Loyola actually does a pretty good job in offering options for students who prefer to eat vegan and vegetarian food. There's a salad bar here in Denobly Dining. There are other options as well, as for example, the vegan burger or French fries.
Now chefs will even make dishes for students with dietary restrictions.
Student loan debt is a problem for many recent graduates. President Obama has a new plan to help grads pay off their loans. We told you last month about Loyola graduate Emily Mosnick. She owes more than $70,000 in student debt loans. Her loan payments take so much of her monthly budget that she can't even afford a car. The president wants to make the process of repaying student loans easier to understand and manage. He has signed a Student Aid Bill of Rights proposing to require businesses that serve loans to provide clear information about how much students owe. He will also take a look at new laws to strengthen protection for students and ask the Treasury and Education departments to look at bankruptcy laws and other laws to see if they should be changed for student loans. The White House says 40 million Americans have student loans. More than 70% of U.S. students who graduate with a bachelor's degree leave with debt.
Generation Y, those born after 1980, are known for their tech savviness and for being the most educated generation in history. So it will come to as a surprise to learn that American millennials have been found as the least skilled when it comes to the workforce. Researchers at the Princeton-based Educational Testing Service administered a test measuring the job skills of adults born after 1980 from 23 different countries. American millennials rank behind their overseas peers in literacy, numeracy, and problem solving.
Coming up, see the highlights for Arch Madness.
And see how Loyola's Ireland's Bar is adding to the atmosphere on campus. More on that when we come back.
Nuts. It's crazy.
That was fun.
Crazy. You got some killer dance moves. You're tearing up that dance floor.
You weren't too by yourself.
Nah, I try. So what are you trying to do now? I don't live too far. Go back to my place, have a beer?
I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yo! What's up, Brandy? Crazy seeing you here.
Oh, what's up? How you been?
Nothing, just like slapjacks. Probably just gonna head home and kick it. Yeah, so who do we have here?
Oh, my bad, dude. We just met. This is Stacy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yo, Randy, you might want to double check who you're bringing home tonight. She might not be who you think she is.
What are you talking about? She's beautiful. All right, step aside, homie. I'm gonna go home, enjoy the rest of my night. Stacy, let's go.
Are you ready for that fun surprise tomorrow morning? Know Your Limits, sponsored by the state of Illinois.
429 days, over a year ago. That was the last time the top-ranked men's volleyball team lost a match, until they faced number 2, Lewis University, on Monday. Joaquin Carrick has more in sports.
Indeed, Loyola will likely drop out of the top spot after their 40-game win streak was snapped at the hands of Lewis University on Monday. The Ramblers fell in 4 sets to the Flyers, mostly beating themselves with service and passing errors. With the win, Lewis moves to 15-1 on the season, and the weight of a victory against the #1 team in the country will almost certainly earn them that same spot in the top 25. The Ramblers, meanwhile, will have to regroup quickly. They face 3 ranked opponents, Ohio State, IPFW, and Ball State, before their highly anticipated rematch with the Flyers at Lewis University on April 1st. It will be the younger members of the team that must step up, as veterans Thomas Jeske and Cody Caldwell both had solid games against Lewis, posting a combined 29 kills. Loyola takes on Ohio State this Saturday at 6 p.m. in Columbus, Ohio. The men's basketball team continues to practice in anticipation of a possible postseason berth in the NIT, the CBI, or the CIT. Loyola will be happy with an NIT appearance after the strong showing at last week's Arch Madness tournament. The Ramblers came out blazing in their quarterfinal matchup against Indiana State on Friday night at the Scottrade Center in St. Louis. Right from the tip, Loyola couldn't miss. The team shot over 60% from long distance, making 10 threes. At one point during the game, Loyola was up by 39 points, and the Sycamores could never recover. Although the Ramblers fell to the eventual tourney winner Northern Iowa the next day, Coach Porter Moser was happy with the team's performance on the season.
I'm proud of how far we've taken the program to date. I mean, the move into the league was just, it was harder than people think. And for us, I'm proud of where we've moved it, but I'm not satisfied where we are. You know, I'm hungry to get what Northern Iowa, Wichita has. They're the two elite teams in the league.
The Ramblers will find out Sunday if they have more basketball left to play. As one conference tournament ends, another one begins. The women's basketball team heads to St. Charles, just miles from where the men were, to play in their end-of-season tournament. As the 9th seed in the tournament, the Ramblers will take on Bradley in the first play-in game on Thursday afternoon. If Loyola wins, the next day they would take on top-seeded Wichita State, one of the two favorites to win the MVC championship. Drake is the other. In case you are interested in watching, all the games will be broadcast on ESPN3. Other than Taylor Manuel being named to the all-conference team, it's been a tough season for the women. Hopefully they have some success in St. Charles.
We can only hope. Thanks, Joaquin.
Temperatures have finally moved above freezing this week. We hope this begins a trend of warmer weather that means winter is finally coming to an end. The sun is bringing out more people on the street, wearing fewer layers than in the past few weeks. A lot of the snow has melted and crews are cleaning up the last signs of winter. Plants are coming back to life, showing their spring colour. A lot of us can finally enjoy the nice outdoor time we've been waiting for.
This week is fabulous. We wish we had this all the time. It's really nice, temperate.
But I love that it's like 40 degrees right now. It's so nice. I feel like it's summer, even though it's like spring.
My roommate went running on Lakeshore Drive already because she's like, oh, it's so beautiful out in the sun. And
I get to walk out with a light jacket, you know, don't have to wear my boots. It's really comfortable. Don't have to pack as heavy. Good not to wear like tons of layers too.
The latest forecast indicates the nice weather in Chicago will be with us for the next few days. Temperatures this weekend may even reach the mid-60s. And happy St. Patrick's Day. Whether you're Irish or not, it's a day to be celebrated, and there's nothing quite like St. Patrick's Day in Chicago. The place to be is on Columbus Drive and Wacker Drive at 9:30 a.m. where you can catch the dyeing of the Chicago River. And what has become one of the world's most famous St. Patrick's Day rituals, 45 pounds of eco-friendly vegetable dye is poured into the river to turn it emerald green. Also, don't forget the annual parade, which starts downtown at 12 noon.
Keeping up with the St. Patrick's Day theme, Loyola's own Ireland's Pub. Loyola is unique for having a bar on campus. It opened last fall in the basement of the Damon Center. Loyola News photojournalist Grace Runkle shows us how the student-run business added to the atmosphere on Lakeshore campus. Ireland's
is a student-run pub in the middle of Loyola's campus in the basement of the Damon Student Center, and we serve craft beers, wines, hot dogs, nachos, sandwiches. We're really strong with faculty and some of the grad students, but we haven't been able to tap into the senior or like the juniors who are 21 level within Loyola, as well as the underclassmen students who can't drink the alcohol necessarily, but they can still eat the sandwiches, they can eat the hot dogs, the nachos.
Just a really cool place to hang out after class or between classes, so because I commute, so instead of having to go home, it's a nice place to relax between classes.
That's messed up.
I do like the fact that I can play pool here because I have a table at home, so it's really nice to play here with my friends. I guess decent. I get a lot of practice in, so pretty good.
We just want to kind of expand so that everybody can come down and everybody can enjoy it, not just the current kind of adults on campus, I guess you would say, which is kind of what we were going for. A place for students, professors, both undergraduate and graduate students who are over 21 to have a place where they can come together in a safe environment and kind of learn a little bit more about it without like binge drinking or any of that things that can come on college campuses.
Ireland's isn't named after the country, but after George Ireland, the coach of the 1963 Loyola's men basketball team that won the NCAA National Championship.
I'm really looking forward to my first St. Patrick's Day here.
We'll have a lot of fun, trust me.
So coming up in our Loyola News Extra, the largest showcase of European films outside Europe.
And find out which Chicago neighborhood has been voted one of the sexiest in the nation.
I had a really good time tonight.
Me too.
Give me your wallets and no one gets her.
Sir, we don't want any trouble, please.
Empty your pockets.
Wow. Those knitting lessons really paid off.
Miss? 多少钱一碗？一碗 just 一碗。我和你 I'll pay you money. I've got this money here. Please take the money, please. See?
把他带走。
We are now going to jump across the pond to Europe, where our very own Mats here at Loyola News Extra is from Norway and has an interesting story to share with us today.
Thank you, Jessica. Does Federico Fellini tell you anything?
Not really, no.
No, a documentary about the life of the famous Italian director is currently screening here in Chicago at the EU Film Festival. The next month is dedicated to European film here in Chicago. The Gene Siskel Center is the location for this year's EU Film Festival, featuring films from all over the European Union. For more than 40 years, the School of the Art Institute of Chicago has presented world-class independent, international, and classic cinema. The center claims to have the most state-of-the-art movie facility in the entire Midwest, making every screening an unforgettable experience. The audience is excited to see foreign film in the city, and they hope the festival will encourage other cinemas to screen more international films.
So we are showing 61 premieres from 27 of, I believe now there's 28 EU nations, and it is basically a whole month of EU cinema.
And I think when other venues in the city see what the turnout is like, they may possibly start offering these types of films to people.
A lot of these films aren't going to be released commercially in the U.S., so it's a great opportunity for our regulars and the diverse ethnic communities of Chicago to be able to come in here and see themselves represented on film.
The film festival is screening movies all through. The film festival is screening international movies all through April 3rd at the Siskel Center on Lake. And if you want to learn more about that Italian film director I mentioned, check out the closing night, April 2nd, for the documentary How Strange to Be Named Federico.
Thank you, Mats.
No problem.
The selfie stick has been banned at many global tourist attractions, such as the British Museum and recently the Art Institute of Chicago. The stick is meant to improve selfies, but critics say the device is obnoxious and potentially dangerous. Powdered alcohol, meant to be mixed in drinks, has been approved by the Federal Alcohol and Tax Bureau. States have already moved to ban the product, alcohol, in fear of minors misusing the powder. Are you feeling like you're in Marvin's room and don't believe in no new friends? Then this Drizzy app is for you. The app was launched just a few days ago and allows you to text your favorite lyrics to your friends.
Also, in case you missed it, the area around Loyola's Watchtower campus has been rated one of the sexiest neighborhoods in America. The River North area won 5th place out of the top 10 cities ranked by the online publication Thrillist. River North's hotspots along Michigan Avenue are one of the reasons why the area got to the number 5 spot. Areas in the Trump Tower was also a factor, and the people we've talked to would agree.
I like to be in the Trump Tower. That's what I like to be in. That is sexy right there.
It's very modern, very urban, very friendly, very clean. It's a great experience. I love walking around. Absolutely sexy. Yes, ma'am.
And according to Thrillist, the top 3 sexiest neighborhoods in America are Uptown Dallas, South Bay Los Angeles, and South Beach Miami. But we want to hear from you. Tweet us at Loyola TV to tell us your top 10 sexiest neighborhoods in the Chicagoland area. I think it's pretty cool that we live in one of the sexiest areas.
Yeah, I definitely think that Chicago is the sexiest. Yeah. Well, that's our news for today. Thanks for watching.
And we'll be back next week with another edition of Loyola News Chicago. Have a good day.
So many times I've been alone in my life, but now I found a reason to be smiling. You came into my world and then you turned on all the lights, just when I was really getting tired of trying. All the time I've been waiting for the summer sun to shine on me. And now you're here, I can look up high and there